This meeting is being recorded. This is the September 25th meeting of Local Works EDIC Subcommittee. Okay, thank you all for joining us here. And yeah, I did send out the agenda with the minutes for the last one. And I guess I was too efficient because I think Barbara Lamar did not post it in the newspaper yesterday. Usually the meetings get posted in the newspaper the day before, and I missed getting it in the last time. So I was super efficient in sending it right away, but I think I was too efficient because I don't think Barbara got it in yesterday's Gazette. We looked anyway, so did anyone get a chance to, okay, so adoption of the agenda. Real quickly, I'll say what the 5 items were since you didn't see it. EDIC approval of the new members, Matt, Kathy, and Mary Ann. Selection of a new committee chair. Make the final logo selection based on Ben's edits. And review the survey development input to the cloud document from team members. Discussion of local fair concept as introduced by Kathy. That's a good idea. Does anyone have any amendments to the agenda?
I'll bring up something under new business if we make it.
Okay. If we don't make it, let me know what it is and I'll put it on the agenda for next week. For the next meeting.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what it is. One, I want to introduce the concept of using Channel 5 airtime to promote local businesses through the Local Works platform. So.
Is there a copy machine in this?
Planner has one. Yeah, we could.
I don't know if Jessica's.
Somebody's in that office.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Also, if anyone has any interest in the hereafter, we are shooting our first show on this Friday at 11 with a local spirit medium.
Oh, really? You were there? Pretty cool. Okay.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's Friday, 11 a.m. At Whitebridge Middle School.
See below. Sorry, this is what you get when you have a person taking notes and being chair at the same time. Okay, I will make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay.
Now, but before the point of order, I wasn't here for the full meeting. I had to leave at 3:45. Do I still vote in the minutes?
Sure. Okay. Because you read them, what you said. Anyone second?
Second.
Okay. Denise. Well, we'll ask Denise when she gets back if she has any. Don't listen if she has any. Okay. Any opposed? No. Okay. So we have 6 members now.
Yeah.
That's cool. So vote 6-0. Okay. Approval of the minutes. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Denise, do you approve of the agenda today?
Oh, absolutely.
The minutes.
Cool.
The minutes.
No, first the agenda since she was out of the room. Now the minutes. Anyone have any corrections to last week's minutes? Okay.
No corrections.
Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Any opposed? Cool. Okay, welcome guests. We have no guests. You guys are part of it now. Cool. So first thing is the EDIC approval of the new members, Matt, Kathy, and Mary Ann. And we saw from Ben's email that it was approved. And we had previously voted on it. Thank you for writing your little notes to the EDIC.
Oh, welcome.
So that's all cool and groovy. Now the selection of a new committee chair. Last week we had talked about the 2 people being up for it are Matt and myself. Do either of us?
Well, I was going to say, surely there might be somebody who really wants to do it. I would, you know, I mean, especially since I really knew.
Okay. I'm happy to do it if someone else will take over being the stenographer. And don't everyone jump at once.
I know, I'm terrible at
taking.
I'm perfectly happy staying stenographer if you'll do.
You seem very good at stenography. I must.
Here, do.
How about you, Denise? You don't want to chair? You wouldn't want to do
Could you guys co-chair?
Enough on my plate.
enough to do.
As my
But what's involved in doing it?
I really think, I don't think either of us would have to be as gung-ho as James was, but I think just at a minimum, setting out the agenda.
Making the agenda.
The meeting agenda.
Making it.
Creating and sending out the agenda, and leading the meetings, and making sure that everyone was, let's to get down here. When there were people that were kind of on the fence, kind of say, we really need you, that kind of thing. Unless they had things that they couldn't. I'm happy if
And you need to do stenography even with this video?
You need to.
I think we do.
the minutes have to be submitted, I believe.
Yeah, and see, this way, if someone were to take the minutes from the meeting, they'd have to basically set aside a whole another hour to listen to it all again and type it out.
Also, just to reiterate that the videotaping of public meetings does not serve as a public record of the public meetings. The minutes serve as a record of the public meeting. The videotape is to expand the base of democracy and to encourage more participation in democracy. Just because
Instead of forcing somebody to do this, why don't we just keep going the way we're going? I can be note taker for now, if you're...
Well, would you feel forced if you took it?
Feel forced. I don't know if you need to decide right now or...
No, I think we should kind of do this. I mean, I would, if you did take it, I would finish this meeting, and then you could just do the agenda for next.
It's not unusual for somebody who's never been in any type of format like this.
you could share it. I mean, it's not. There's no rule. I'd say you guys do rock paper scissors.
Well, I mean, I'm happy being the stenographer.
You enjoy being the stenographer?
I kind of do, yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of anal that way.
Ooh.
Anal retentive.
I have something to add later.
Okay.
Not related.
And that may work out for the other committee. Of course, I have to tape this. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Okay. Should we? Well, I don't want to. I almost feel as though are you feeling as though you're forced?
No. I mean, that if people want.
Okay. Is there anyone else who has any opinions? And are you feeling as though we're rushing this?
Maybe. I mean, it's second, third meeting. I mean, I don't know. But it's up to him.
I think it just depends on, like, if you want to spearhead the committee, and if it's not working out for you, you can always put it forth,
Okay.
I mean, does anybody, there's no, I don't think there's anything, there's no bylaw that bars us from changing chairs
That's true.
as needed. I mean, it's a good way.
That's true.
It's a good way for new members to get really absorbed, right?
Then we also don't necessarily need to decide this right now. I mean, as long as people are okay with things being a little disjointed while I do both.
Leave it up to Matt.
I think, yeah, it's a Matt.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm up for the challenge. If
Great.
I could do it. I'd have to stop. I still haven't officially been sworn in because I think I'm supposed to go upstairs and
Yeah.
do
Oh, I
sign
thought you
over.
should.
So I don't want to get a suit or something.
Would you try to do that after today's meeting?
I could do that.
Okay. Well, then I will continue today, and then afterwards you just go this morning. And at any time, if you want to either co-chair with someone else or hand it off to someone else, please let us know.
So, in that light, we should hold off a vote since he hasn't been sworn in.
Well, he hasn't. Oh, so he can't vote as a member. Okay.
I think we should make a motion to let Matt go upstairs and get sworn in now.
You want to do that?
Takes 4 seconds.
Actually, we probably could do that. Run up, do that?
If you want, if that's what the motion says, I guess.
Well, I mean, but he can still vote as a member. Oh, I guess he can't vote as a regular member.
I don't think,
He's official.
no, no, I know, Ben isn't here to be.
Do you want to bring him?
Okay.
No, it's at the end of the hall, right?
Yeah.
Meeting is tabled for the time it takes you guys to go upstairs.
Well,
Last door on the right is before you reach the out.
City clerk.
But it's upstairs though.
City
One-
clerk, yeah.
One floor up.
okay.
Just, stop.
I'll find that.
Okay, we're back in session. Do we have a motion to make Matt our new chair?
Move to make Matt our new chair.
Okay. I second it. Any opposed? Okay, vote is in.
Thanks. Congratulations.
Way to go, Matt.
Fearless leader. And I'll work with you. Make sure.
Good.
Okay. Final logo selection. Now, we saw the logo that Ben had put together. I jumped out of my chair saying it was great. You pointed out that it would still be good for him to have some shadow on the lettering.
It really needs that.
Has anyone seen another version with shadowing on the lettering?
No. There has been-
Which in the white, you mean?
Yeah, invest in Easthampton. Like that needs
Needs
to
a
pop
black-
a little bit. It needs a shadow, like maybe a 3/4 gray shadow to pop it out.
Alright. I'm misunderstanding, which means I should, so like a screen on it?
No, a shadow.
If you
let me.
if the word.
So, Eric, what does it look like? Very interesting.
Of course.
So it would look like it would be down here.
So it adds dimension to
It
each of the
just adds a
letters.
little bit of dimension. It pops it out a little bit.
Gotcha.
So I think that, I mean, because it's very wordy to begin with. You know what I mean? Like usually logos don't have sentences in them, so I think you should, if you want that in there, you should pop it out.
A little hard to see with what they're doing.
Invest in Easthampton, is that what it says?
And that's probably like a 5-second fix.
Depends on your perspective. You think that would work happy with the gray stick behind the letter?
I think it does work. I mean, just,
White shadow or a gray shadow?
I think it'd be a 3/4 black shadow. So, I mean, that's a dark gray shadow.
Okay. It's not hard for me to visualize that. Is it difficult for anyone else? Visualize it, and if it's not, can we vote on it? Or do we want to see it again?
I think we'll do it. I mean, it's a minor
Do
detail.
you like it, right? It's,
I might even just suggest, actually now that I'm looking at it, is to adjust some of the tracking, just to squish the letters together a little bit more.
Which letters? The logo?
Invest in Easthampton.
The Invest in Easthampton, the tagline in the middle.
Look it closer.
A little bit closer. Just because when you think of logos, you think of it's a seal. It's, you don't want to have, you know, it already has a lot of words, but just to kind of squish
Make it smaller
together.
into the center, you mean? or-
Yeah, just
Yeah.
squish it in a little bit.
I am,
You handle.
what?
I think it looks beautiful.
I mean, it's not really changing the essence of what the logo
No.
is. It's just squishing it in a little bit and putting a shadow in to pop it out. So I just think that, like, if you think about things in terms of logos, you want to make it as dynamic as possible, especially for, I mean, we're trying to create a brand.
Yep. I think general consensus is good. If we just add a shadow and tighten it up a little bit. Are people in agreement that that would work? Can we vote on doing that?
I'd like to vote on the logo as it stands now, and then have him try Kathy's changes, and we
Okay.
can
Great.
just implement them if they work, and if they don't.
Okay. To vote on the logo as it stands now, and then see the finalized iteration after the next meeting. Okay. Anyone second that?
I second it.
Okay. Seconds. Any opposed? No. Cool. Great. That's good. Review survey development into the cloud document from the team members. We don't have. Do you have a? First of all, did you get the?
I was able to get it, but I didn't. Well, I had talked about adding something on parking, and I think is as simple as the question, the question I'm writing, when you shop out of Easthampton, outside of what is your reason? And if parking comes up, let us know to something we have to work on.
Yeah.
And just put that in as an option.
Okay.
Another question, does that make
People have
sense?
trouble
Bad parking.
Huh?
People have trouble parking.
No, but I'm more curious to hear what people have to say. It's I think like anything, there's a degree of laziness involved in folks.
I'm just surprised because I've never had a problem parking.
I want to just bring in the parking aspect, because in some there's been talk in the past in different groups, not necessarily the chamber, the different groups talking about the need for more parking, especially along Shop Road and Main Street.
I'm loaded on this.
Those are the questions ECA would like to add.
Really? Pass those out in the middle. Thank you.
Actually, they've been fine-tuned by the ECA coordinator, Jessica, and my other co-chair. So this is the final version. If you have the one from last meeting, it's just been tweaked a little bit.
Is the final version also on the cloud?
I have not had a chance to even look at this survey online, I'm sorry.
Okay, so then, what the final, this finally are your edits from the EDIC Plus?
This is the final ECA questions that we'd like to add to the survey if possible.
Okay.
And I can upload those.
Great, okay.
So we're just going through question by question.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Is there another copy of great things?
We have done, according to
The minutes.
what Ben did here, did we get through question?
Actually, let me look at last week's minutes. 9/11. That's
1 through 5. Okay.
1 through 5.
Do you know, the question number 1, I'm sorry that I wasn't here for that part of the meeting, but how many years have you lived? Has anybody considered / worked? Having worked?
I think that's 2 separate questions, so.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I mean, I don't, but I don't really feel passionately about it.
Well, I could have lived here all my life, but not worked here, but fine. You know.
Right, but if you're trying to establish the community, you know what I mean? So.
Well, you would be able to see if someone, to the question of where do you live.
Actually, why don't you look further, because there might be a work question further on.
So on number 6, it says, do you work in Easthampton?
Yeah.
No? I don't know if she's got, do you have the,
So, okay, so do you work in Easthampton?
Yeah. So they could say yes, and if they, for question 1, would say, no, I don't live here. I think that would cover it.
Okay.
I mean, again, I think we want to keep it as simple as possible to get the highest result as possible.
How many questions are there total?
Right now,
22.
That's with eliminating number 4?
No, it just goes to 22.
Okay.
That's weird. This last thing that I missed a page?
Says 1 of 7 on your,
It says 1 of 7, but when I went past page 4, they were blank and looked like I sent through the last. This is weird. I think it's all
did you print from the PDF or from
the last thing that was sent through. Oh, you know why? It's double-sided.
Big tricky, aren't they?
Okay, well, that's all right. I can work, I can just, fine, because I can just work from there. But it doesn't show up. Why doesn't it show up that way then? I don't know.
So do you want to pick up on question 6? Is that where we left off?
Yeah. Okay, discussion?
What percentage of your total household budget do you spend on retail goods? From Easthampton merchants.
is that annually?
Hold on just a sec.
Do you think?
I think it could be, I don't think necessarily it has to be.
I don't think so either, but I think stating the amount, the time frame makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
Say on a
Your
monthly
weekly?
basis.
Yeah, monthly or
I think on a
weekly?
monthly basis, yeah.
And how much, what percentage of total monthly household budget?
Yeah. Actually, they usually do now. The cloud.
Do you think that it would be, I mean, would we want to just go to like a dollar amount, or do you really want a percentage? Like,
I think percentage is good because people's, that shows kind of how much commitment you have for shopping locally. And obviously people who make more are going to spend more.
right, but I also think you're asking a survey person to figure out a lot. I mean, I don't know, like, I'm just thinking like well, no, it's not that it's that hard, but you think like someone with kids and is gonna sit down and do a survey that...
How would you do that, Kathy? Give me an example.
I would say like less than 100 a month, you know, 100 to 300 a month, like you're gonna do it monthly.
But therein lies, it's not, we're not getting a representation as to how much they buy locally by doing that. We're the dollars that they spend locally, but if it's someone who, you know, makes $100,000 a year,
But
spending $100,
isn't there a question that asks,
yeah, there is, but we're not going to be able to equate those two questions together. And I don't think it's hard for people to, I mean, yeah, see, for someone who earns $20,000 a year, spending $100 is very different from someone earning $200,000 a year.
right, I just wonder, well, okay, we put out the survey, yeah, it's fine. I would just think that, like, if the purpose of the survey is to track how many dollars are staying in town, that range might be easier to track versus a percentage.
This question doesn't make sense to me.
Where are we now?
Well, still number 6. How can I spend 100% of my total household budget from Easthampton merchants?
Well, 75.
You can't.
Well, you can't.
So we shouldn't have 100% in there.
About 75+%?
Yeah, I even think that's a lot. I mean, household
I think
budget
50.
can also include like mortgage and rent and stuff.
Yeah, electricity.
Yeah, utilities. You know, how about let's keep it simple this way. 0 to 25%, 25 to 50, or more than 50.
I think it works better.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, because you want to keep it as simple as possible. I mean, I did a survey this morning, and it said it would take 10 minutes, and I had a meeting to go to, and I'm trying to get through it, and it's taking longer, and I finally said, I X'd it out and said...
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, it's easier to, and I also think that people who live paycheck to paycheck don't, one, have a household budget. They pay what they can when they can, and two, doesn't mean they can't participate in shopping locally. So I think that people that don't sit down and have an entire family budget can say, well, you should spend about $50 a week here. And that's something that's trackable versus, you know, if you make $20,000 a year and you spend $50 a week in town, that's trackable. But that person is not going to take the time to go and say, well, if I make $20,000 per year, it's $50 a week times 52 times, you know.
But they wouldn't have to do that. I mean, I don't think...
But I'm saying that like 0 to 25%, chances are, looking around, probably most people that are going to be in the 0 to 25%. So I guess my question then is how localized do you want the results to be, and then how are you asking people to give you those results? That's really just...
Well, what if we just make it more simple and say a little, some, or a lot?
Well, then that's not, you know, that's not data collection really at all.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't... See, what I'm thinking of is for having those three, that puts it into that kind of mindset, so they're not actually trying to do the math. I mean, there's no way I could do the math to figure it out without actually going back and looking at my receipts and everything. But for those three there, less than a quarter to half, or more than half. What if we said it that way? Because that way the people, then it's an idea in their head. Okay. And for this kind of thing, it's got to be an idea in your head. Yeah. Do you want to say less than a quarter, or a quarter to a half, and more than half?
Well, I mean, then let's just put, you know, 0 to 25, 25 to 50, and 50 plus.
Okay. Great.
And that again would be for question 6.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just keeps it simple.
I have made the thought earlier to break it down between grocery items and non-grocery items. I'm not necessarily so sure we do need to do that.
I don't know if you want to... I don't know if we want to add too much more to where we're sitting.
You're right. So I will withdraw that request.
And
Okay. Before we go too much further, do you have thoughts as to where the ECA questions go in?
Yeah, I knew about it. I didn't think we were going to cover it, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, then number 7, what percentage of your total household budget do you spend on services? Well, here again, is that we're getting too much?
just add one in general question. How much money is spent locally?
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen.
What's the period of time?
Go back into this meeting, but here's what you're going to do.
Would you ask, Sue?
What's the period of time?
At 4 o'clock.
Oh, we said monthly.
We said monthly.
Okay, so the monthly carries through the whole thing.
So in other words, should we just make question 6, this one on retail goods and services? That's what I'm saying. I just don't...
What if I say, how much of your retail purchases do you do in Easthampton? 0 to 25.
Yeah. And then would that include services too?
Then the next, you could say how much of the services you get, such as...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 categories: grocery, retail, and services.
While you were out of the room, I said I didn't necessarily think that we needed grocery, that it could be part of retail. And that was my idea, and I pulled it out.
So you pull that grocery.
Yeah.
And JR again.
Included here.
Yeah. Because it is in question 6 already. Okay, so then we will make question 7. We're going to add the word monthly in. And make it the same breakdown as the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, when you shop outside of Easthampton, what's your reason? And here, would this be a good place, Eric, where we can put your parking?
Well, okay, we're at 8. I'm sorry.
Who put Fordham? Who was that?
Oh, there it is.
Ben.
Yeah, I just, as I said, I don't know if I didn't know how to develop and if the parking people visualize it as a problem. And that's why that's where I would put.
Well, why don't we just ask if people think parking is a problem? instead of
We're just saying,
trying
we're saying have that be one of the options, is difficult parking.
Wait, but are we, we're trying to determine if the inavailability of parking is contributing to not
Sure.
Right.
shopping locally?
Right. In the interest of keeping it simple, we could just have that be another option for that question.
We can even address it, excuse me, in other questions. I think it's a good spot to add it, see if it's applicable.
Okay.
What do you think?
So funny, I can see your edits that you're making.
Oh, that's where I thought we'd put it in there. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what, you want it to be a separate question? So we'll
Not
just-
yet, but for now, that's a good place to add.
Okay,
Now,
so,
the check one.
okay, so we could add that in
Maybe
as,
switch out boredom for parking?
yeah, I think so. I have a hard time having the word boredom in there.
Who added that?
Ben?
But I don't get what's the relevance?
Because I think what he's saying is that there's nothing interesting in Easthampton.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like
Well,
availability.
greater selection answers that question.
It does. It does. Yeah, okay, so,
For socks. Socks? That's not the joke.
Yeah, socks and underwear, isn't that the joke then? Or the
Yeah.
standard, I can't make.
but now you can.
No, over here.
The dollar store has socks and underwear now.
do they really?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Someone brought that up. So all this time it said you couldn't, but now we can. And I think they offer it for women, children, and men.
Wow.
I haven't checked.
The world is right.
Okay, let's go on to the next.
Shop outside of Easthampton, what are you doing buying?
Okay, thoughts?
That's good.
The trouble I have with some of these questions is it's based on you being consistent. And I can tell you, I'm not consistent.
Well, I think we kind of have to assume that
I
people
agree.
are going to answer as though they were consistent, just because otherwise we have really no way of even doing this. I mean, I see, it's a good point, but I think we're going to have to put our foot in the ground, or put our stake in the ground somewhere.
I think it more applies to people who work outside of Easthampton. That statement. If you live here, you don't tend to be traveling by other options as much and work here.
That's a good point, actually. When you shop outside of Easthampton, what is your reason? That should probably go in.
What it is that you buy outside.
No, just that,
Convenience.
locale.
Convenient to my work or
Right.
Oh,
If
for
your
maybe
office
question
is next
eight.
to Stop and Shop, you're probably going to Stop and Shop.
Okay,
I
okay.
mean, for question 8,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would we add location?
convenience.
Convenience, okay.
Makes sense.
Great, okay.
What happens here is I get back and look at my notes and I don't know if I can read what I wrote.
Now, when you shop outside of Easthampton, what are you buying / doing?
I don't think you need the slash doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later. I remember to ask you. What are you doing?
Services, should services be in there?
Maybe another.
Is this an alternate that somebody suggested? The question
Yeah,
is,
this is Ben suggested. I'm not so sure we need it. I hate to say it.
I don't think you need both.
I don't think we need both that and
And the big chart, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Either the big chart or question 8. I think it's coming from the Department of Redundancy Department.
What's the big chart? What do you mean?
This.
The chart
Well, one is what would you,
Question.
one is what are you buying that's not local, and then the other one is what would you like to see more local of? So I think they're separate, completely different questions.
Well, I mean, if you'd like to see more of it in Easthampton, that generally means that you're not buying it in Easthampton. I'm trying to get over the redundancy of well, I don't know. Are we going to keep it in then?
I would keep them.
Okay.
Have we, which one are we? I'm sorry, I've lost
Number
it.
9.
Well,
We're keeping it in. When you shop outside of Easthampton, what are you buying?
okay, that's a new number 9 then.
Yes, and I'm making number 9, number 10. I'll just go all the way down.
Thank you. Okay, just to,
Okay, do we want to add anything other than the things that Ben added to indicate what you'd like to see more of in Easthampton?
clothes, food, entertainment.
I would add another under 9.
Under what?
And question number 9, I would add an other.
Okay, yeah.
And then you can fill it in. Sorry, I'm backtracking a bit.
Okay.
in question 10, I think we should add arts and entertainment.
Okay.
And then art galleries, movie theaters, music venues was the suggestion.
Yeah, oh, I saw that, okay. Do the,
Is this going to be, is some of that going to be encompassed in the ECA Plus stuff?
well, this could be a time, a good place to put the ECA Plus stuff in.
You would be, yeah, because it may be a good transition, just in the fact that they're talking about,
So question number 2 from the ECA Plus stuff.
Future cultural performances in Easthampton. Okay, yeah.
So over here is to incorporate question 2 from the ECA feedback into question 10, correct?
Yes.
But not 1 and 3.
In a new section entitled Arts and Entertainment.
Okay.
There could be other types of entertainments that people are missing here, such as video game arcades or
We do have another.
other.
That question 2.
Yeah.
And then we ask what types of cultural venues do you think Easthampton is lacking? If we can keep that in, maybe some of those things will be added.
Okay.
Yeah, that would all fall under the other category.
Are you getting?
I hate to put it this way, but, because I don't know if people are gamers, but do you see, if you're thinking cultural performances or venues, do you think of gaming as something that's cultural?
No, but it is.
I
It is
don't.
something that's-
Yeah,
That's my personal.
Yeah, that's fine,
There are some who do.
Okay, I'm just putting that out.
So, yeah.
But it's arts and entertainment, so whether it's a cultural performance or it's still arts and entertainment. You know.
Because I was thinking probably this is more of its own category. My concept of arts and entertainment in this grid doesn't really, this is more in depth. You might want to keep it separate from.
I think we could make one a little less and the other a little bit more in the interest of keeping this survey simple enough that people are going to want to spend the time on it.
Yeah.
I think the more we drag it out, the longer we make it, the less likely we're going to get to people to.
Yeah, we can still get our answers and it's incorporated into other questions.
You don't mind if it's mixed in?
Okay. Okay, so let's go down.
The same with Mary Ann's questions as well,
Yeah.
all that online stuff.
Well, where I see them in here, we're addressing it in a minute. Under retail, wine shops was added, beer shops, wine and beer shops. I say wine, beer, spirit shops, or you could just say spirit shops.
Yeah.
Actually, it's moot, but it doesn't really matter. Separate specialty fashion and clothing stores.
The reason I thought that was because, like men, if you say specialty fashion, I don't know what that is, but I know that there's no place to buy a suit or, socks. Is that what it is?
What if we had specialty / clothing stores?
I think clothing is sufficient. I mean,
So we don't need
the
specialty.
fact that there really aren't any, we should
you're
not
right.
like that.
Yeah, this ain't Manhattan.
I mean, with specialty, it's like hospital gear and there's all kinds of specialty things, but.
Right.
No. Sorry. Okay, moving on.
Hair salons, travel agencies, dry cleaners or laundry services, laundromats, medical dental, print, nail salons, hotels, stores. Is there a hotel in Easthampton?
There's
No.
B&B.
A couple B&Bs, that's it.
Okay. Oh, I say in that light, then say hotels / inns.
Why even list it? We know they have to go. Or what's the question?
Do you want to see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and I said the last 4 questions would be glossed over. I'm not going to quibble on that. Okay, rate the frequency at which you shop at the following stores. It's fine. Okay.
Are there any Shaws around here?
Anyway.
I
Shaws?
don't think so.
In Maine, yeah, that's
I
a...
think we could remove Shaw's.
And are we...
Farmers
Well, it's not in Easthampton, but a lot of Easthampton people shop at Pure Foods.
It's true.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we'll see, Target's not in Easthampton either. Or
That's what I'm saying.
So
It's at Target, but we've got Big Y, which is actually not in Easthampton, and Stop and Shop, which is not in Easthampton.
Well, that's okay, we want to know.
The Novo Co-op too.
Oh, yeah, River Valley. I'll add that in too.
So we took out grocery stores, and it's just these stores.
Well, grocery store is the category.
That's true. Well, he took that out because of, I don't know, but I think they all are grocery stores, so I say keep it in.
Well, the Holyoke Mall, Northampton downtown is not a grocery store.
Oh, that's
Dollar
true.
store, Walgreens.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. What additional types of businesses do you feel are needed in Easthampton? Right, and that's fine. Wait, isn't that redundant for
It kind of is.
that whole thing, the whole number 9, now number 10?
Yeah, can we just put in other and please describe?
Yeah,
Yes.
good idea.
For question 10, you mean?
For question 10, strike that out.
Yeah.
Tennis Road in Agawam?
Yeah, that just got,
Sort of got, sort of.
Oh,
yeah.
who cares?
Where do you see that?
Agawam.
12.
Number 12, the old number 12. Yeah.
Okay, so we're taking out that.
Yeah, actually, full question.
Yeah.
So then we're taking out question 13 about parking too. Because we put it in the other section.
Unless we think we,
Or-
Yeah, but I think, yeah.
Well, this could be a good place to put the 2 remaining questions for ECA.
Yeah, plus the questions 1 and 3 for ECA.
Yeah.
So this is now 13 and 14. These are the questions.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
No problem. You know what, actually we do too. Let me get that forward. So I think we made some good headway.
Should we move to adjourn?
Real quickly, next meeting. What's first and second?
What was that agenda request you had, Pat?
Oh, I put it in here.
It'll have to go on the next agenda. It was a request to start looking
Oh, that's
at
right, yeah.
the local works fair. But I have a press conference I have to go yet, so.
Thanks, Ken. Bye. So, okay, so we went through question 12, 13.
so it's 10-9.
That's it? Yes, over here, okay. October 9. Okay. Anyone have anything else before I adjourn this meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Seconded. Okey-doke. Thanks, everyone. I will send out the minutes and the next agenda. I'll send you the next agenda, and you can send it out. And I'll make sure to send you a distribution list as well.
We're done.
And thank you. Well,
What they say, feet first.
feet first, head first. Rub.
They hit the remote there, Matt.
Yeah.
John.